We have reached our final season of discussion, and that is winter. So we are just looking around, examining our lives to determine what season could we possibly be in. And we're taking our cues from nature, of course, which is something that the Lord has created, God created, and we are applying biblical principles to our lives. So, for example, in winter, when it comes to nature, you don't really see a lot of external growth. There are things happening on the inside of the plants. There are things happening in the insides of caves and nests and things of that nature. There's hibernation taking place, but it's all a form of rest and preservation. So you may be in a season in your life where there's not much that you can do, but your work is to rest. And for someone like me, it's hard to do anything but rest. Resting makes me feel like I'm not being productive. It makes me feel like there's something that I'm missing out on. But rest is actually something that is needed. Even God created nature to rest. And in the book of Genesis, it shows us that God rested because he saw all that he had created was good. It's not that God needs rest, but everything that he created does need rest. He factored that into our bodies. So maybe you are used to being hands-on and answering every phone call, being on social media all the time, but maybe God is calling you to a season of rest so that your body could restore some energy, so that your mind can restore some peace instead of dealing with anxiety and chaos. The second thing you want to think about is, are you taking a moment to reflect? That's what happens in the middle of my garden when it comes to the winter time. I'm reflecting over the previous seasons. So are you reflecting over the lessons that you learned earlier this year, earlier in your life? Are you looking at how you could have conversations differently in hopes for a better result? Are you looking at how you could handle your finances in the future based on the reflection of how you handled them previously? So just because you're in winter, it doesn't mean that you're not productive. You just may not be as productive outwardly as you are inwardly. So are you taking time to reflect? Reflect on some decisions that you've made. Reflect on your relationship statuses, whether that's a romantic relationship or a friendship or even a spiritual relationship. Winter is the time of reflection. But thirdly and finally, winter is also a time for receiving. This is the back end. So maybe people are coming up to you, letting you know what a blessing you've been. Maybe someone's asking you to be their mentor. Maybe God is opening doors and giving you opportunities that are so grand you're having to pause, you're having to rest, you're having to reflect before you decide to move forward. So if any of these things are taking place in your life, you very well may be in a winter season.